every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Hi everyone, I'm just going to be introducing the video here before we get started. So I'm going to be making gluten-free chocolate chip muffins for y'all. I absolutely adore these muffins so stinking much. And so I am so happy to share with you the recipe that I use and how I make them. All of the ingredients that I'm going to be using during this process are going to be in the description of this video, so you can have that handy and dandy for you right then and there. But I'm also going to be walking you through the process of how I make these in the video. I absolutely love these so much, and I can't wait to see if you love them too. So let's get started. So the first step that you're gonna wanna do when making these chocolate chip muffins is obviously getting out all of the ingredients that you will be needing. So I'm going to be listing them off for you, but again, they are going to be listed in the description section of this video. You're going to need a half cup of softened unsalted butter. I use salted. I don't see the difference personally, but you do what you wanna do. 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 large room temperature eggs, 2 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 cups of gluten-free flour. I prefer the Red Mills 1-to-1 baking flour. I think it's amazing. You will also need 1 1/2 cup of milk. I use lactated milk because your girl does not react well to regular milk. And lastly, you're going to need 1 cup of chocolate chips. So these are all the ingredients, and again, if you want that list written out, that is in the description. So the first step that you're going to want to do is to prepare your baking pan of muffins. We have this stone one my mom loves and raves about, so I use it every time I make cupcakes or muffins, and I'm just going to be putting those like cupcake cup things, I don't even know what they're called, in the holes, and then I'm going to be preheating my oven to 425 degrees. So now we're going to start putting these ingredients together. We are going to first get out our stick of butter and our granulated sugar. We're going to be putting those into our mixing bowl and mixing them up. Please make sure that your butter is softened. It won't mix well if it's not. So I recommend leaving the butter out for a couple of hours before you make your muffins. So you're just gonna be mixing those two until it looks nice and good. I showed kind of what it looks like for me when I'm done mixing it in my bowl. You probably want it a little bit smoother than that, not gonna lie, but I was impatient. You're then gonna add your 2 room temperature eggs to your mixture, and when you're done putting those in, you're gonna mix it all up again until it is just combined. And I of course make sure to get all of the edges every time I am mixing something, just so you can have more batter. I'm then going to be adding 3 more ingredients. First, we have the 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we have the 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And lastly, the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once those are all put in our bowl, I'm going to be mixing it again. Now, when that is combined, we are now going to be adding our flour. So we're just gonna be using 1 cup for now, and we're gonna be adding the 2nd cup a little bit later. So for now, we get our 1 cup of flour and we add it to the mixture we've already been working with. And for this, I'm going to hand stir it because that's the recommendation I got from a recipe that was inspired by this one. I don't know if it makes it better or worse than using a mixer, but I'm just gonna be safe and hand stirring it. So this is what the mixture will look like after you add that 1 cup of flour. We are then going to be adding our milk. So we have 1 1/2 cup of milk. It looks a little bizarre after you add it because the mixture looks very watery, but don't worry, we're gonna be adding that 1 cup of gluten-free flour after this. So once the milk is all combined with your mixture, you're going to be adding in that 2nd cup of gluten-free flour. And what I like to do is to keep the mixer on and add slowly. So I will take a 1/4 cup and just add 1/4 cup of flour to my mixture until I reach 1 cup. And I make sure to have the mixture completely combined before I add another 1/4 cup to the mixture. And so then we're gonna just stir that and make sure it's all good and combined and mixed together completely smooth. And of course, I had to take a little sample of the batter like I always do for anything that I make. This is when I'm going to be adding my 1 cup of chocolate chips. I'm going to hand stir them because if I use the mixer, they could get all broken up, and I like my chocolate chips whole in my muffins. And then I got a little greedy and added some more chocolate chips to the mixer just because I like them very chocolatey. But you do you though. If you want more chocolate in there, go right on ahead. If you want less, go right on ahead. So when that's all mixed and all of our ingredients are good to go, we're going to be putting our batter into those cups, into the pan we have already prepared. And notice how I didn't spray this pan with anything or put any like greasing agent in it, like butter or Pam. I personally don't use Pam because it has a lot of things that are not good for you in it. So if I were to line anything, like if I didn't have the paper cups to put my batter into, I'll probably line the stone part of the cup with butter, just so it can come easily out of the pan. But yeah, I'm gonna be taking my 1 tablespoon cookie scooper actually and scooping it one by one into each hole, obviously. And then I'm going to go back around and do it a second time. It takes 2 tablespoons. I think I said teaspoons earlier. I meant 2 tablespoons of the mixture in there. And I do make sure to like get as close to the top as possible because I like my muffins to be pretty tall. And you don't really get tall muffins when it comes to anything gluten-free. But I try my best, so that's why I try and fill the cups as high as possible. So now it's time to put our muffins in the oven to bake. Hopefully while you are mixing your ingredients all together, your oven is finally preheated to 425. And so you're going to be placing your tray of muffins in the oven in the center rack, as center as possible at least. And then you're going to be setting your timer for 7 minutes. They're not done in 7 minutes though. We're just gonna have them at 425 for 7 minutes. So once the timer stops and it's reached 7 minutes, we are then going to be turning the temperature down to 350 degrees. And then we're gonna set our timer anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes. I personally like to use 16 minutes. That's what works well with my oven, but you do what you see fit for how well done you like your muffins. And so once those minutes are up, for me it was 16 minutes, I take them out of the oven and I test them. I normally use toothpicks, but I didn't find a toothpick in this situation, but a fork is a good alternative. I grabbed a fork and I stabbed one of the muffins to see if it came out with any liquid batter on it. And so then they're all done now. These are the muffins when they are done. I ended up being able to bake 5 more or 6 more in a second batch. So there's more that I made than just these. But I absolutely love these muffins and I hope y'all do too. I want to show you how I personally eat these muffins because it's the best way in my opinion. So I like to cut my muffin in half and then smother butter on the inside of both of them, and then I'm done. I'll eat it. And that's how I make gluten-free chocolate chip muffins. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you decide to do this recipe in the comment section down below. Thank y'all so much for watching.